Let's head to the newspaper corner here in the studio now, bringing us an interesting splash of stories from Nigerian newspapers and even beyond. I begin with Daily Sun now. The big story there is on the continuous voter registration. Well, a curious headline there, according to Daily Sun, saying INEC bows, extends exercise by 60 days, plans deployment of additional machines and ad hoc staff. Of course, we said in the news earlier that INEC had gone on to reject this stance, saying that it would wait until the next court hearing date slated for June the 29th before deciding on whether to extend the continuous voter registration exercise. But that said, let's go to this Nigeria, leading with Supreme Court memo. That's another update. This time the Senate has gone on to probe the CGN. Senate President Ahmed Lawan says here we owe Nigerians duty to look into what's happening in the judiciary. That's for this Nigeria. Leadership is leading with an aftermath of the just concluded primaries across parties, saying fear grips APC over gale of defections. Adamu runs to NAS, says defection worrisome, unfortunate. More senators quit party for being denied tickets. And another writer there saying Rivers Governor Wike meets with presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Obi, as well as Bala Mohammed. That too was also another aspirant at the PDP presidential primaries. Blueprint is saying, is speaking on the gale of defections, also reporting that APC chairman Adamu storms NAS, begs aggrieved lawmakers, assures NWC will address outcome of party's primaries. Backs Lawan wants Machina over Yobe North senatorial ticket. Fani Kayode is also quoted there as saying that 22 APC senators threatened defection to the PDP. Social media fake news threat to 2023 polls. That's according to the Department of State Security. Let's check out this Nigeria next. Adamu also meeting with senators made it to the headline story there, says he's worried by the gale of defections. Other riders there include that the senators are listing conditions to halt action. 2 more lawmakers quit their parties. PDP may soon form majority in upper chamber. That's according to Senator Philip Aduda. And INEC has powers to reject Lawan Akpabio. That's according to a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falano. The defections still is what the Nigerian Tribune is riding with. As we see, it calls it panic in APC. Adamu pacifies senators. Interesting. We will probably talk about this some more after this quick review. The Nation is next. APC moves to prevent defection of 18 senators. Party fears loss of Senate majority. Worried Adamu meets party caucus. The Punch is next, still on the gale of defections witnessed so far in the hallowed chambers. 22 senators set to dump APC, it says. Party's majority under threat. And to First News we go now. It's leading with a report, according to former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, who is set to give reasons why the Igbos will vote for Atiku Abubakar and not Peter Obi, saying Southeast cannot afford to throw away votes because of sentiment. And LP presidential candidate Wike meets behind closed doors in Rivers State. We should also spend some time for that. Let's go to The Guardian. No place for placeholder, according to Falano and other senior lawyers who are backing INEC's stance on this issue so far. And then it's a different slant for Daily Trust. Leading with military moves to flush out soldiers with, quote, divided loyalty, says deployment of unmotivated personnel counterproductive. Directive will further dampen officers' morale. That's according to a war veteran. And a retired colonel is quoted as saying that the move by the military to flush out soldiers is misguided and ill-advised. It's also a different slant for the Vanguard, as we see now. It's leading with an update on the fuel scarcity situation inflation. Stakeholders are saying it will persist. Pengasan cites bridging costs, says high diesel price affecting trucking of petrol by tankers, adds that sole importation, inadequate funds, and others cannot guarantee supply, and a host of other riders there. Nigerian News Direct is next, leading with the joint venture violation. It says fresh trouble for Shell. A Senate orders refund of $200 million. And then we head to national economy. Rise in food prices contradicts Buhari's claim of improved economy. A spotlight on the state of the economy. Business Day is leading with an expose. It says on travelers, summer fares double on airlines trapped funds. Of course, summer is upon us. Plans are in gear for travelers, but then there is a cause of concern there, according to Business Day. So let's go outside Nigeria. Sowetan says no regrets for Zondo, not quite the end. That's for the South African newspaper Sowetan. And Daily Monitor is also leading there with government to teachers teach or quit job. A spotlight on education there. So, gentlemen, there we have it now, or how all the papers are leaning on today.
Yes, before we do that, I saw a news story yesterday about somebody who some news agencies are reporting that one Dr. Mashudu Shifularo, South African doctor, actually used 3D plants to cure deafness. So it is a story that is trending. We hope that there's great truth to it, and maybe that we have now been able to say those who are deaf, now we hear without being in the church, without being a pastor saying that, that a human being who is a doctor will say, those who cannot hear can now hear.
Interesting, so. Interesting. Yes,
I wish the continent, Nigeria and the continent, can invest more in research. I mean, we have smart and intelligent people on the continent, but we don't invest so much in research. We always depend on the West.
We believe that even the COVID, that's what we have.
Even COVID, even Ebola, there were so many people who talked about, proffering cures to this present-day health threats. Interesting twist. But then if we narrow it down to preparations for the forthcoming elections, we can see so much wranglings in the hallowed chambers now, looking at what happened. And now there is a threat that the APC might just lose its slot as the leading party in the Senate.
That is a bit of blackmail and hysteria by those who are living. Those people who are in the Senate were also put there by people who are powerful. Those who want the Senate, can they really say in true spirit that they won it because they had a majority of their senatorial district behind them, or because they had the weight of their parties behind them? Having been in the Senate for probably 2 terms, 3 terms, or even longer, or even shorter, some of them have come to believe in their entitlement. So it's a case of one entitlement subverting another entitlement. A governor who says, I want to be there, and I will take it. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's actually probably a governor or a former governor who said, you are the one who should go there, that's why you are there. So the idea that there is a gale taking place might be a little exaggerated, because these people are not a few of them may be really rooted and may create some kind of real earthquake in their own area by defeating their former parties' nominees and so on and so forth. But we should remember that they too were beneficiaries. What they are fighting against is what other people fought against them when they got the nomination.
Because naturally they were losers.
They were there, yes. They are now losers. They are now losers, and they are now crying.
Sore losers.
They are now sore losers. That's what is going on. For most of them, I think. I don't know. We can take the case of Lawan as
we may not say that.
Lawan and Machina as exception, but that is because Lawan did not want it. If Lawan did not go about the misadventure of seeking a position that was not for him.
Check his popularity.
So that's what is happening now is that, as they said in the Bible, his position, let another take.
There can't be any vacuum,
like Matthias to cover the position of Judas Iscariot.
My thoughts, I feel the APC is on the right path. The chairman is really very worried that only two senators defected. And you can see the national chairman already meeting with the senators almost immediately.
That was just yesterday alone. It was just 2 APC senators. Before last week, there were even about 5.
Yes,
it has lost at least 7 or thereabouts.
But I'm just concerned that, or I'm rather reading, that if the APC chairman is already taking this move to ensure that these persons who are aggrieved, who have left, the senators are all the other senators involved too, the other senators on ground from the APC are also trying to see how they can bring their former colleagues back into the fold and all of that. I keep saying, these are lessons for the PDP, because I do not see a unifying factor for the PDP at the national level. For instance, Einaya Baribe, for instance, has defected. Who has met with him? Who met with him when he was grumbling about the primaries of the PDP and all of that? So I think these are lessons for me.
There's a problem. You have made a good point there. There's a problem with PDP actually reconciling. Remember what Fayose said.
His house together.
Fayose said Atiku should forget Ekiti. He was not there when they needed him most. So in a sense, the leader of the party now is Abubakar Atiku. But the party is having crisis in a number of states. Even in the South, where he picked his vice presidential ticket. In Delta itself, there's division in the party. There are people raising questions about the choice. He has not gone to Akwa Ibom to say I'm making peace with Udom.
Or to Rivers.
You see Obi, maybe we'll come to that. Obi and Bala. Bala, it shows that Bala is still angry that he didn't make the party ticket. And maybe he still felt that it was a short change. I don't know why he should, because he didn't have any shot. But it shows that, he's going to meet with Wike and Obi. So there is a reverberation of rumors that maybe he wants to move into the other party, but at least there's the sentient spirit going on. In Edo, they had primaries that are, parallels, and then they even said the forces of Obaseki even sent thugs and policemen to go and harass some people who were holding primaries and even harassed and locked up some journalists who were there to just do their jobs. So the story is really these new parties that they are talking about. They are not really new parties apart from NNPP. At least that Labour has been around. Labour has always been a place for refuge, a party of refuge.
Absolutely, always featuring, always featuring in all the electoral processes.
So it's like the Judea. Jesus Christ said, "You be in the mountains, flee into Judea." Maybe it's their Judea.
So they've always been there. Yeah. But a fair to add to the point that you both have stated. I mean, okay, give it to Mr. Adamu. Just a while ago, before the primaries, we did see the role he was reported to have played, with some even calling him out from his party. But now thank God, okay, the primaries were successfully conducted, well, somewhat, so to speak. And now seeing him now running, urging senators, his former colleagues at the Senate now to stay within the party, embrace the internal mechanisms to augur for dialogue. We are seeing increasing clamor now on the leadership of the PDP, that's your chair, Ayu, to step down. In fact, only the other day, now God's day, Orubebe left the party, saying, you, Mr. Ayu, you're the chairman from the north, your presidential flag bearer is from the north, and these and other reasons that he didn't share, he was going out, he was leaving the party, but we don't know where his next move will be. But another point for me, again, is where this all leads the people. If we look at the gale of defections, who does it serve? Sab made a crucial point earlier. earlier now, but who does it serve eventually? Are the constituents really considered in all these moves? Or
that's the point I was
all
making.
about me?
That's the
me,
point I was
myself,
making.
and I.
That the senators who say they are leaving are leaving because they didn't get what they wanted, not because the people said, "Oh, we love you."
Are so important to them.
This man has served us so well.
I mean,
all right.